Hello everyone, this is Rakshit Raj, and today we are discussing the LeetCode question number 2176, that is count equal and divisible pairs in an array. So the question here says that given a zero indexed integer array nums of length n and an integer k, return the number of pairs I and j where I is less than equal to 0 and j is greater than I and n is greater than j, such that nums of I is equal to nums of j and I into j is divisible by k. So what the question wants to say here, that we have been given an array, that is nums, and an integer k, and what we have to do here is that we have to find the value of I and j, that would be the two pointers in the array, such that the values of that index in which the pointers are facing should be same, and the value of I should be less than j, and if we multiply I into j, that should be divisible by the value of integer k. And at last we have to return how many such pairs could be possible in the following array. As we can see in the example number 1, the input of nums, that is 312213, and the value of k is 2. So the output is here 4. How is that? We can see the explanation that there are 4 pairs that meet all the requirements. The nums of 0 is equal to nums of 6, that is the value of the nums the value of the 0th element and the value of the 6th element is the same. When we multiply I into j, that is 0 into 6, that is 0, which is divisible by 2, and I is also less than j here. So this pair completes all the requirements that is being asked above in the question. So again we can see the nums of 2 is equal to nums of 3, where I is less than j, and I into j is equal to 6, that is again divisible by 2, again fulfilling the requirements that is being required. And again we can see the nums of 2 is equal to nums of 4, and nums of 3 is equal to nums of 4, and in total we can get 4 pairs, that is 0, 6, 2, 3, 2, 4 and 3, 4. So now what we have to do in this question here is, first of all we'll have 2 for loops, we can set pointers. First of all, which there will be I that will start from 0, and there will be j that will start from 1. Then we'll check the conditions that is been asked in the questions here. So let's move to the code part. First of all, we'll write a for loop here. I less than nums dot size and I plus plus. So before moving to the second loop, we'll have a variable that will store the value of the total number of pairs. So int count will say equal to 0, and after this for loop we'll have another for loop in which we'll start from 1, int j is equal to 1, j less than nums dot size and I plus plus, j plus plus. Now after that we'll have a if condition in which we'll check all the conditions that is been asked in the question itself. So the first condition is that I should be less than j, and After that, the second condition is nums of I is should be equal to nums of j. Nums of I is equal to nums of j, and after that we'll have a condition. We have another requirement, that is if I into j is the modulus of I into j to k should be equal to 0. That means the product of I and j should be divisible by the integer k, and if all these conditions are fulfilled, then we'll just increment the value of count, and at last we'll just return the value of count. And that was all for the code part here. Let's see that it passes the test cases here or not. So as we can see, it passes all the test cases here. Now we'll submit this question, and yes, it is the correct answer. So that was all for this question here. Thank you.